Hey, what's happening, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be finally reviewing the BOBOVR Z4. It actually took a long time to arrive here in shipment. It took about 2 months to arrive, and you can see it has taken some damage during the shipping, but the headset should be fine because it's just plastic. Anyways, yeah, so we're going to finally take a look at this thing and see if it's any good with Google Cardboard. And if you guys don't know, this thing was made mainly for Daydream. Or Daydream, and that's it. It does come with a controller. There are about 2 variants, one with a controller and one without a controller. And speaking of Daydream, you should check out Sebastian from Daydream District, which he has a ton of Daydream content. Unlike me, he almost uploads daily, and he has a ton of content for whatever things you want to know about Daydream. You can ask him questions. He sometimes does live streams as well. He is just a really awesome guy with an awesome channel, and you should definitely check him out. I'll leave links for him in the description below. And yes, he also has reviewed this headset, so I definitely recommend checking out his point of view of it with Daydream. So, with that said, let's get right into it. So the box is very simple, as always. Nothing special going around here. It's just cardboard, and it's damaged, and a bunch of cool pictures depicting on how cool it is. You can see here that it says you can use it on Google Cardboard or Daydream, and I'm not too sure if the one that I have has the one with the controller, but let's go ahead and find out. Okay. So there goes the box. Going to recycle that later on. So yeah, we get a nice clean manual that is in English and has a bunch of information, a microfiber cloth, and finally the headset itself inside this packaging. Oh, yep, and there's the controller. We'll take a look at this in just a bit here, but let's take a quick look at this headset here. So pretty interesting design. We got the headphones are attached to the headband itself, and this is the type of headband that you can readjust using a little knob, using knobs that are on the side right here. And you pull them and you can adjust them and lock them in place by just letting go. And that is actually pretty cool. So we'll see how that does. The headband here does feel pretty cushiony. And over here, and there's a ton of cushioning, I gotta say. This does remind me of Google's Daydream headset, which is made out of cushion pretty much. And you can see that this whole thing is made out of cushion. You can just actually take this part out and just pretty much wash it, which is really nice. Moving on to the side here, we get what seems to be focus adjustments, which is pretty nice. There are a bunch of these clips. I don't know what these are. Maybe they're just mounting points to hold everything together. The phone compartment door itself is kind of a clip method, and this time it's not just held in by the plastic itself. There are actually metal springs in there that will keep it in place. And check this out. For once, they have finally decided to put this in the center. Instead of having it on the left side, and only the left side, and having a long wire, this time the cable is actually in the center, which is pretty awesome. So you can reach either sides, then you can tuck it in back right in there just like that, and you'll be good to go. Unlike before, it was pretty hard to put back in there. Plenty of padding on each side, and a bunch of rubber feet down here. Now it doesn't seem like there's any capacitive touch buttons, and right above the IPD dial, we get the focus adjustment dial, which is going to move the whole phone compartment along with your phone to adjust the focus, which is pretty nice. The padding here is pretty decent, and inside we get a very thin layer of microfiber to protect your ear from touching the bottom. But that said, this is not an over-the-ear headphone. It looks like on-the-ear headphone, so it's not going to fully cover your ear, obviously, with this tiny hole. And the lenses here do look pretty decent. They look like 40mm lenses. Let me go and measure that. So yeah, 40mm lenses. They look nice, and we're going to be testing it out in just a bit. And a few more things here. You got your usual headset controls right down here, so volume up and down, and pause and play. And one last thing, here's the Daydream controller that I probably won't be able to use. That said, we'll be testing it out and see if I can connect to it using my phone and see if I can make any use of it. And check this out, it's actually a USB Type-C connector, which is pretty cool. And tell me if I'm wrong, this looks like a face, so check this out. It even has eyes that move. So yeah, anyways, we have the LED indicator right over here, volume up and down, a touchpad, and a single click button, which does feel pretty nice, just like the HTC Vive. And 2 other buttons right down here. And nope, the LED indicator is actually right down here, and this might be either a mic or a reset button, probably a reset button. And yeah, 2 more buttons. We'll see if this works with the Google Cardboard, and hopefully in the future we'll actually get to review this on an LG V30 if I do end up getting one. If you know, my LG G4 phone has finally killed itself and entered the boot loop. So yeah, let's go ahead and test this out and see how it does. Let's go. Alright, we're back, and I think I just had the smoothest experience when testing a Google Cardboard headset. And yeah, it's pretty cool. So let me talk about it. So comfort-wise, it was actually pretty good. A big improvement over the BOBOVR Z4. The strap is much nicer. The headphones are much nicer. They actually clamp onto your ears, unlike before, they just flap around. And you can easily adjust them sideways like this, which is a big plus, and I find myself using them. The adjustability of it is pretty easy. It's pretty straightforward. You just gotta get used to it just a tiny bit. It doesn't have any extra flex, so most of the time you'll find yourself just sliding it in there, or you might loosen it up and tighten it back on when you have it on. So comfort wise is really good. The padding all around is very good as well. The only issue that I had when it came to comfort was the nose room. It's a bit too tiny and there's no center strap, so it doesn't take any weight off your nose. That said, it wasn't too bad for my average size nose. My nose was actually touching the bottom of this, so it wasn't uncomfortable to the point where I couldn't stand it for a couple of videos. I easily watched 15 minutes for the videos and VR cardboard experiences, and I had a very smooth experience with it. Didn't find the need to actually take this off and take a break. It was very, very smooth. The lenses here are really good. Overall, they are very sharp, minimal distortion around the edges, and yeah, as you'd expect, a very high FOV. I'd say more like 96 degrees or so, maybe 110. They claim it has an FOV of 120 max, that's if you zoom it in all the way. It did remind me of the Fit VR 2S lenses. They're very good, and you're going to have a fantastic experience with the lens. The IPD dial was very useful, I did find that handy, and the adjustment dial was also very easy to access. All the adjustabilities of this thing were very easy to work with. Sliding my phone in and plugging in the cable here was a very smooth experience as well. Didn't have an issue with it. A very nice cable, I gotta say, very slick indeed, and it can easily reach either sides. Would have been nice if there was a touch button, but hopefully in the next version we'll get one with a capacitive touch button. This one is mainly focused for Daydream users. That said, I totally recommend checking out Sebastian's YouTube channel, Daydream District, and see what his viewpoint about this thing is like for Daydream. Which brings us to the QR code for Google Cardboard. The default QR code for Google Cardboard did work fine, but I will leave a QR code that I did use for this thing, and it did make the experience much better. You can try a bunch of QR codes and see what works for you, but I'll leave the one that I used and worked for me. And the headphones here are actually pretty okay. They remind me much of the BOBOVR Z4 headphones or speakers. They sound very similar, but the comfort level is much improved and much nicer, much more comfortable. Audio quality is not going to blow anything out of the water, but they do produce very clean audio. And I did not have much issues with the volume levels. They were pretty good as well. So yeah, comfort level, very nice. Headphones are also very good. This is definitely now one of my favorite headsets when it comes to Google Cardboard, and especially Google Cardboard headsets that do have a built-in headphones. Usually they suck, but this one is very nice. And the price point is okay. It is much better than the Pimax price point, but you do get much more function out of this thing than the Pimax. Although that one is the king of comfort, this thing does have more function than the Pimax. That said, we'll be comparing them later on in a future video, hopefully very soon, but these are my thoughts on it. It's a very awesome headset for Google Cardboard, and for Daydream, it definitely beats the Daydream headset when it comes to comfort level and lens quality. And once again, go ahead and check out Sebastian's video about this thing. It's very interesting, and he shows you exactly how he got it to work with Daydream and what it's like to use with Daydream, and what kind of issues he encountered and solved when using this thing. So yeah, I would say this is a complete headset. The only thing that's missing is a capacitive touch button, and this remote control right here, it does not work for Google Cardboard. It shows up as a Daydream controller, and the only function that I can get is volume up using this button right here, and that's it. Nothing else works. It does feel pretty comfortable, and that's actually about it for this video. I can only get the headset to work with Google Cardboard, the controller, not so much. But hopefully I can afford the LG V30, which does support Google Daydream, and I'll be able to bring you guys some Daydream content as well. That said, that is pretty much it for this video, so thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, hit the like button and subscribe for content like this, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, everyone.